In 1988, this Long Island church, Lamb's Chapel, asked the Center Moriches School District for the use of this high school gymnasium to show a film series on family values. The series is called Turn Your Heart Toward Home and is produced by Focus on the Family. But the school district refused the request, saying the film series' religious content violated a New York state law prohibiting religious activities on school property.
You're saying if you allow the discussion of a certain topic, you cannot permit a religious viewpoint on that topic. But the next case just around the corner is a group that wants to come into this same school district, and they say, we want to address the topic of religion, not family. We want to address separately the topic of religion. And it's not a question of giving a religious viewpoint on some other topic which the rules allow, but rather the topic of religion in and of itself, which is as a separate topic.
I believe now that case is not different, and here's the reason my statement is. If the preamble to the use application is for social, civic, recreational purposes and other uses pertaining to the welfare of the community, a religious or religion has value, in my client's perspective and others, to civic affairs. That is where I think that's not saying that a school district...
Can it say civic, social, and recreational purposes other than politics? Can it say that?
I think politics, political speech has a relevant application to social civic issues. I don't think a school...
I know it does, but the school says it's just too controversial, and therefore we're going to exclude that from our otherwise all-inclusive program.
Not without
Justice... They can't exclude anything.
Yes, Justice Scalia, they can exclude... They could close the forum down. They could say just bowling, but they can't open it up to social, civic, and recreational use and say no to religion, a religious perspective, no to politics, although albeit a different case. But when you start opening it up to social, civic, and other uses pertaining to the welfare of the community...
Question of how broad the other uses are, then, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's not...
So let me come back to the question I asked before, but which you would not answer. If you exclude religion when you're letting in virtually everything else, that seems to be a problem to you.
Absolutely.
But if you're excluding religion when you're excluding a lot of other stuff, that does not seem to be a problem. Is that the key?
No, I don't think...
Well, then what is...
in the context...
I don't understand what the key
is. Let me put it in its bottom. By policy and practice, the school district has determined to open its facilities to these various uses, the social, civic, and welfare of the community. Having done that...
Except religion.
That's right, but having done that, they cannot exclude it as to religion. And I think... And the reason is, this court has said...
But if they only let in recreation and theater, then they can exclude religion.
I think
Why is that?
Well, I don't think let me take your theater hypothetical. If they let in theater groups to perform issues, but then say no to Handel's Messiah, which this school district, by the way, allowed Handel's Messiah, but they found that not to be religious in a meaningful way, I don't think they can do that. But could a school district say, we're going to open our facilities to drama groups for the presentation of Shakespeare? Yes.
But they could say no Mass. They could say no Mass.
Under that policy, yes. I don't think that's...
But under this current policy, you say they can't even say no Mass.
I would have to concede, which I'm not going to, that a Mass would be irrelevant to the community good or community welfare or civic social concerns. They could draft a policy to prohibit Masses. They could draft a policy to prohibit this film series you've shown.
Today, Justice Byron White, writing for the Supreme Court, rejected the school board's arguments and said denying access violated the church's right to free speech.